Cannot be a Caitlin Clark fan at this point as a black person. This is what is being said to us. How you can't root for Caitlin Clark? I'm not making it up. There's people who are just blatantly telling us we can't enjoy a white.
That's not just a casual comment. That's someone drawing a hard boundary and essentially telling an entire group of people they're not allowed to support certain players. We've reached a disturbing point in WNBA fandom where skin color is being treated like it determines who you're allowed to cheer for. And before anyone writes this off as an exaggeration, understand that this kind of message is being spread and boosted across social media by thousands of accounts right now. The real issue isn't whether it's happening, it's how we got to this place and what it could mean for the future of women's basketball.
Listen to this. Just listen to this.
Messages for my fellas. Look, read the room, please. Please read the room. When it comes to this situation with the WNBA, like, if you got something to say about her, I get it. But right now ain't the time to talk about how much you love her.
Why not? We're talking about the game. Y'all keep talking about everything else. Y'all keep talking about everything else but the games. We are talking about.
Listen to what's actually being demanded here. Black men are being told to read the room, to stay quiet about which players they enjoy watching, to downplay their appreciation for certain performances because there's supposedly a bigger issue happening. The argument is basically this. Angel Reese has faced criticism for years, so praising Caitlin Clark right now is somehow a betrayal of black women in the league. But that logic ignores something important. LeBron James simply tweeted a quick congratulations to Clark after a strong game. That was it, just a short, good game message. And the reaction wasn't mild disagreement, it was full-blown outrage. The implication was that a black athlete supporting a white athlete during a controversial moment means he's picking the wrong side. RG3 received similar backlash just for acknowledging Clark's talent. These aren't random fans throwing out hot takes. These are high-profile black athletes being told their public support is somehow unacceptable because of the timing.
This ain't the time for that. Watch the game and keep it moving. RG3.
So now we have to be fans in silence. Now we have to pretend like we have to watch the games and make sure nobody's looking. Don't nobody see me looking at these Caitlin Clark highlights, do they? Now we got to do that. We got to sneak and look at our phone and make sure ain't nobody around. Come on, man. Stop it, man. Stop it.
This ain't the time for you talking about Angel hating her. This ain't the time. Even though I don't believe it to be true. And even if it is.
Now we're being told fans have to enjoy games in silence. Like watching Caitlin Clark highlights requires looking over your shoulder to make sure nobody notices. The absurdity should speak for itself, but it's worth unpacking why this narrative has gained momentum. The core argument is that there's a broader systemic problem, that white players often receive more media attention, bigger endorsement opportunities, and stronger fan backing. And to be clear, there's real data and history worth examining there. Clark's Nike deal was the largest ever for a WNBA rookie, regardless of race. Her Time magazine cover sparked debate about whether black players with equal or better stats have received the same level of recognition. Those are legitimate discussions about representation, marketing, and how women's basketball is promoted. But where the reasoning collapses is when it turns into policing individual fans. Telling people they're not allowed to appreciate a player's talent because of racial politics doesn't solve systemic issues. It creates resentment, divides audiences, and ultimately drives people away from the sport altogether.
And you not sticking up for your sister, your niece, your cousin, your daughter. That's why a lot of women say I'd rather the bear than the man.
What does women saying the bear than the man? What is it? We're not talking about relationships. We are not talking about relationships or we're talking about basketball. And this is a perfect example of why a lot of men don't even watch women, don't even.
This comparison to relationship dynamics is exactly where the argument completely falls apart. We're not talking about dating choices or personal relationships. We're talking about watching basketball. The idea that men praising a white female athlete somehow means they're failing to protect black women is a massive leap that mixes together issues that don't belong in the same conversation. And notice what's happening here. It's no longer about analyzing the game. It's turned into a loyalty test. It's about proving you're on the right side by publicly supporting certain players and staying silent or critical about others. That isn't real fandom, it's political performance. And what makes this especially harmful for the WNBA is that the league has spent decades trying to grow its audience, attract casual sports fans, boost attendance, and increase viewership. Just when the 2024 season brought unprecedented attention, largely fueled by Caitlin Clark's popularity and the Iowa-LSU rivalry, there's now a loud group telling potential fans their support isn't welcome unless it follows specific racial rules.
This is why a lot of men don't even want to deal with women in sport, because what we do, we watch a game and talk like we in the barber shop. He's whack. No, I like him. It don't matter your skin color. It don't matter. If you ask, I would say if you ask 90% of black men that are being honest who are NBA fans, who's the best player in the NBA? Some people, we all, we have the Mike LeBron debate, but LeBron's older now, so we don't really think he's the best currently. We have no problem saying, hey, I think Jokic is the best player in the league. He's from Serbia. He's white. We don't care. We don't care. We love Luka. We love Luka. We all bombed on the Dallas Mavericks for getting rid of Luka. He's white.
Let's talk about how men actually engage with sports, because this context matters. In men's basketball, fans have no issue recognizing greatness regardless of race or nationality. Nikola Jokic from Serbia is widely viewed as the best player in the NBA right now, a three-time MVP, white, European, and black NBA fans celebrate his game constantly because he's simply incredible at basketball. Luka Doncic is another perfect example. When Dallas drafted him, some people doubted him, but once fans saw what he could do, that skepticism disappeared. Now he's one of the league's biggest stars, his jersey sells worldwide, and his highlights dominate social media. Nobody questions whether it's appropriate for black fans to enjoy his step-back threes or elite court vision. Cooper Flagg is projected to go number 1 in the 2025 NBA draft, and he'd be the first American-born white player taken first overall since 1977, nearly 50 years. And the reaction from black basketball fans hasn't been outrage or suspicion, it's been excitement, because he's talented, competitive, intense, and plays at a high level. Nobody is arguing someone else should be picked first just because of race. The discussion stays focused on one thing: who's the better basketball player?
None of us are mad that he's white and gonna be a number one. Like, it's just crazy. This is why a lot of men don't even deal with women in sports. I'm just being honest with you.
One that looks like you, because it's bigger than basketball. This situation is bigger than basketball and has been for almost 3 years now. Angel Reese deserves better. She does. So yeah, fellas, please.
So now we are at a point where we are being told as black men who we can and cannot.
This gets to the core problem with injecting racial politics into sports fandom. It strips away the very thing that makes sports so compelling in the first place: the meritocracy of performance. When you watch someone hit a game winner, thread an impossible pass, or make a defensive stop that flips momentum, your brain isn't running demographic calculations. You're reacting to excellence. Caitlin Clark pulling up from 38 feet off the dribble and consistently hitting contested threes isn't a normal skill in women's or even men's basketball. It's rare, it's exceptional, and fans respond to that the same way they respond to any athlete doing something most others simply can't. But now there's this growing idea that publicly appreciating that talent is somehow wrong because of broader systemic issues in how the media covers the league. The reality is, systemic problems require systemic solutions. Telling individual fans to censor their excitement doesn't change ESPN's coverage decisions, doesn't fix endorsement disparities, and doesn't control who ends up on magazine covers. All it does is turn the fan experience into something divisive, uncomfortable, and miserable.
Who we can and can't enjoy watching play a game. You can't like Josh Allen as a quarterback. He's white. We can't like him. We can't. Now we are being told who we can and cannot like. It's sad, man. This is sad. Y'all got to get a grip. This is sad. Y'all keep saying, oh, it's bigger at hand. Y'all are making it bigger than that hand. We talking about the sports in the game. And we gonna keep talking about the sport in the game. Y'all choose to continue to make this something else. I'm not gonna.
Let's address the Angel Reese situation directly, because it keeps getting used as justification for this kind of gatekeeping. Yes, Reese has faced intense criticism and constant scrutiny. The "you can't see me" gesture toward Caitlin Clark during the 2023 NCAA championship became a major flashpoint, and she was subjected to racist abuse online afterward. That's completely unacceptable, and anyone engaging in that behavior should be condemned and removed from platforms. But here's what's being mixed up. Calling out racist attacks against Angel Reese is not the same thing as demanding that fans stop praising Caitlin Clark. Those are two separate issues. You can absolutely condemn racism aimed at black players while also recognizing outstanding performances by white players. These positions do not conflict. The idea that supporting Clark automatically means betraying Reese creates a false binary, as if fandom is a zero-sum game where appreciating one player requires tearing down another. That's not how sports work, that's not how fans work, and it's certainly not how you grow a lasting audience for women's basketball.
Like who I like, I'm gonna enjoy watching who I enjoy watching, regardless of their skin color. There's plenty of black players I love watching. I'm gonna continue to enjoy the game. I'm gonna let y'all continue to be a part of the circus and the foolishness. I'm not gonna let you trick me into not being able to like and watch who I want to watch. I'm not gonna do that. So the sooner we can get back to the game and stop trying to make it about everything. Like she went and dove all the way to relationships. This is why women say bear to, like, what do relationships? We not dating. What does relationships have to do with this? I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Put down in the comments what you think.
So where does this leave us? Because this isn't just about one clip or one person's opinion. It reflects a deeper tension that's been building within WNBA fandom over the past few years. On one side, you have fans who are genuinely concerned about racial equity in media coverage and marketing. They see real disparities in how certain players are promoted, compensated, and celebrated, especially given that black women make up the majority of the league. Those concerns are valid and deserve serious attention and meaningful solutions. On the other side, you have fans who simply want to enjoy basketball without being told their excitement is politically suspect. They want to celebrate great performances no matter who delivers them, and they're tired of being told their fandom must pass racial loyalty tests. And here's the tragedy: both sides ultimately want the same outcome: a thriving WNBA, fair treatment for every player, and a growing fan base that supports the league long-term. But instead of moving toward that shared goal, the conversation is turning into gatekeeping and purity tests that risk driving new fans away entirely. The WNBA has spent decades fighting to be taken seriously, pushing for more media attention, better player compensation, and arenas filled with real crowds. The 2024 season finally brought unprecedented momentum, with record-breaking viewership and sold-out games becoming the norm. Caitlin Clark's arrival played a major role in that surge, alongside the continued dominance of stars like Aya Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Sabrina Ionescu. But if new fans are told their support is only acceptable if it follows specific racial rules, that growth will disappear fast. Casual sports fans won't stick around if enjoying basketball comes with navigating complicated social politics, and the entire league, players of every background, will feel the impact of a shrinking audience. What needs to happen instead is simple. Media outlets must spread coverage more fairly across the league, highlighting elite performances from all players. Brands should reward talent beyond whoever creates the biggest short-term buzz. Fans should be free to appreciate greatness wherever they see it without being accused of betraying anyone. And most importantly, fandom shouldn't be treated like a political statement. When someone says they love watching Caitlin Clark play, the response shouldn't be an interrogation. It should be, absolutely, who else are you watching? Have you seen what Aya Wilson is doing? Did you catch that incredible performance last week? That's how you build lasting interest. That's how you grow the sport for decades. Not by dividing fans along racial lines or demanding loyalty tests, but by celebrating the incredible talent on display and welcoming everyone who wants to be part of the journey. So I'll leave you with this. Do you think telling fans they can't support certain players because of race helps or hurts the WNBA's growth? Because from where I'm sitting, it's doing far more damage than the people pushing this narrative seem to understand. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the focus on the basketball. The WNBA has spent decades fighting to be taken seriously, pushing for more media attention, better player compensation, and arenas filled with real crowds. The 2024 season finally brought unprecedented momentum, with record-breaking viewership and sold-out games becoming the norm. Caitlin Clark's arrival played a major role in that surge, alongside the continued dominance of stars like Aya Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Sabrina Ionescu. But if new fans are told their support is only acceptable if it follows specific racial rules, that growth will disappear fast. Casual sports fans won't stick around if enjoying basketball comes with navigating complicated social politics, and the entire league, players of every background, will feel the impact of a shrinking audience. What needs to happen instead is simple. Media outlets must spread coverage more fairly across the league, highlighting elite performances from all players. Brands should reward talent beyond whoever creates the biggest short-term buzz. Fans should be free to appreciate greatness wherever they see it without being accused of betraying anyone. And most importantly, fandom shouldn't be treated like a political statement. When someone says they love watching Caitlin Clark play, the response shouldn't be an interrogation. It should be, absolutely, who else are you watching? Have you seen what Aya Wilson is doing? Did you catch that incredible performance last week? That's how you build lasting interest. That's how you grow the sport for decades. Not by dividing fans along racial lines or demanding loyalty tests, but by celebrating the incredible talent on display and welcoming everyone who wants to be part of the journey. So I'll leave you with this. Do you think telling fans they can't support certain players because of race helps or hurts the WNBA's growth? Because from where I'm sitting, it's doing far more damage than the people pushing this narrative seem to understand. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the focus on the basketball.